So when you started making the transition to the music, the first time I saw you was because of the Double XL freshman list.
Yeah.
Was it as political back then as it is now, or were they picking people off of being nice or label ties, or how did you get on that?
I didn't have a deal, so like I might have been the only person on the cover that didn't have a record deal. I think me and Currency. Everybody else had deals. But I got the call on my birthday. Rob Markman, who's at Genius now, he was at Double XL. He called me. He was like, yo, we just got out of a meeting. Daytwan Thomas said they want to do the freshman cover. And he was like, you was the second person they picked to be on the cover. And I was like, well, who else? He was like, so far it's just you and Wale right now. We still trying to figure out who else. So like I didn't have a record deal. Wale was signed to Mark Ronson. So like he was able to, he I don't want to say he was able to get on because of that, but he was buzzing. So they put him on there. But B.O.B. was signed to Grand Hustle at the time. Charles Hamilton was signed to Interscope at the time. Asher Roth was signed to SRC. Corey was signed to Young Money. Blue was signed to Warner Brothers. Cuddy was signed to Good Music. Ace Hood was signed to Def Jam. Me and Currency were the only ones that didn't have record deals.
Currency was signed to No Limit before that, so you the only one.
Yeah, he at the time he didn't have a deal.
Okay.
So, but I was the only one who didn't sign anything.
Let me ask everybody a question, including you, Mickey. Is that top 3 freshman list?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely top 3.
Yeah.
So the other one I would think was the one with Lloyd Banks in the game.
I don't remember
on
that.
It. That was like one of the first ones.
That's a long time.
That was on the Source.
Yeah, that was.
That was the Source. Oh, I thought
that was on the Source.
So that might be number 1 though, right there.
Well, another one that comes to mind is the
J. Cole and Nipsey is probably the best one.
J. Cole and Nipsey, and then there was the
2010
the 2 Chainz
class.
one. There was a 2 Chainz one, correct?
Yeah, I think Chainz did one, but I think the Nipsey one is the best one. I think then after that, if I'm being unbiased, I would have to say 2016.
Who was that? Who was on 2016?
It was Uzi.
Oh yeah.
Denzel Curry.
Yep.
Was it Kendrick?
Dave East. It was a
Kendrick
lot.
too. Yeah.
No, Kendrick.
No, Kendrick was 2010.
2016 was heavy. It was a heavy list. It's basically everything we hear now.
Well, salute to you for getting the top 3 covers, sir. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
With a straight up
Word is
independent.
born.
So
Straight independent. Straight.
Yeah.
So was there a specific track, freestyle, or video you did that got your name in that meeting?
Nah, I was putting out a song every week. That was unheard of.
What was your platform of putting music out at that time?
I was going to MySpace.
Yep.
And then MySpace started to die off, so then the music just went to the blogs. So we was putting it on MySpace first, then we went to the blogs and started using Zshare and shit like that.
Gotcha.
And that's how I got on. Like the blogs was basically the DJs, and they was just funneling it out to everybody.
Can you break that down for us? Because you had 2 Dope Boys, I think, Nah Right, and there was something Planes and
Pigeons and Planes. So it was 2
Right.
Dope Boys, Nah Right, Pigeons and Planes, Fader Blog, On Smash,
right.
All Hip Hop, Hip Hop DX, yep, SOHH. I had all of that on lock. Like everything I dropped always hit something. Pardon Me, Duke. All of these blogs, every blog, I was like the blog darling.
Is that what put you ahead of a lot of other underground rappers in New York?
Yes.
So you were the first one really understanding how to maneuver around those blogs.
It was really me. Like, and I was utilizing the internet because I couldn't afford to get on a K-Slay mixtape. I couldn't afford to get on a Flex mixtape. So I went on the internet. It was free. My first show, like, and again, all of the underground rappers that was out around that time, like 05 to like 07, 08. I'm talking like Mano, Pap, Graph, Joel Ortiz, Saigon, all of those guys, like they were super talented, but they all had cosigns and they all had the DJs backing them, and they were performing all throughout the city. My first show ever as Mickey Factz, I was in China. I took 4 of my friends, we performed in China. They flew us all out to China. That was my first show.
You know what's crazy? I remember where I met you. You remember the day I met you? Where we was at?
Where was we?
I used to live in Houston,
Right.
and at the time, Bun B's manager Bone, I got tied in with him. So he like, yo, Big Sean is performing tonight. It was Big Sean, and I think somebody else was performing
In Houston?
But in Houston, and you were opening. I went there. I went backstage with Bone. Sean walks in. I see Mickey. Oh, he's like, yo, I'm like, oh, we've been cool ever since that day.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That was at the House of Blues. Slim Thug was there at that show.
Yep.
Bun was there at that show.
I remember Lil Flip was back there too.
Lil Flip was back there too. Yeah, I remember that show. Me and Sean did a Texas run. We had did a whole Texas run.